we talked a little while back about the playoff run. Now that it's here, everything gets dialed up. What's the emotion like leading up into this week?
Just mainly excitement, honestly. I think everyone's excited to get going. We've been, you know, clinched a spot for quite a while. We weren't sure where we were going to be seated, but now we know where we're at, who we're playing, starting pretty soon. So I'd say excitement.
Do you have to temper some of your excitement and not to get too overhyped, knowing it's it's best of five series, and kind of stay even keel as much as you can leading up to the game and then during the game one?
Oh, absolutely. We've talked about it. It's the playoffs they can be quite a roller coaster, of emotions, and the team that is able to control those emotions best and understand that it is a long series. I mean, it's not seven. At least the first two rounds aren't seven, like the NHL, but it's still a long series. You got to win three games to move on. So, which is very difficult to beat a team that many times. You saw it throughout the entire regular season. Beating a team back to back is pretty difficult. So, it's just keeping an even keel throughout this week in preparation, and then as soon as the puck drops on Friday, maintain that level of calmness and collectiveness, and execute our game plan.
What did you learn about yourself, this team, some of the guys on the team, based off last year's deep playoff run? Is there anything that you can take from that personally, or messages that you give to some of the younger guys?
Yeah, definitely. I think going back to the last question, it's that calmness and collectiveness. That's something that you learn as you're growing up in playoffs and in college hockey and junior hockey. Everyone excelled probably at those levels. That's here now, but it's a different beast at this level. The crowds are bigger, the game's faster, and it's more physical. So being able to have the experience of last playoff run last year and play in three different rounds, three different teams, three different buildings, atmospheres, to be able to use that to keep a cool head, and again go back to just executing our game plan and not being worried about if they score in the building in Syracuse, just the top blows off. It's just making sure that we're just steady throughout the entire 5 games. That's necessary.
Said and done.
Yeah, it definitely can be.
Place goes nuts after a goal and you're down 1-0. It's like okay. But it'd be, how do you, I guess, practice that? What you preach? Like, is it just from your experience of doing it last year and being down 3-0 and coming back in games? Is it kind of just a little bit of that?
That can definitely help. It also helps leaning on older guys. Like, I know I personally, looked to Michael Mersch last year. We were line mates, and he'd been in the league for quite a while and succeeded in the league, and he's been on quite a few playoff runs. So just looking at him and understanding how he's preparing and how he's reacting to certain situations, that definitely helped me, not having any experience personally last year in the AHL playoffs. So I think hopefully guys that maybe didn't experience it last year can do the same for myself. And obviously he's still here and he's still our captain. So I'll continue to do that and look up to him, and hopefully other guys do too.
Your coach was talking about how some of the younger guys, especially the Europeans, playoffs is completely different over in Europe. There's really not series or anything like that. What's kind of the message you guys send, to help them prepare for a playoff series where you see the same team over and over again, and it just gets, tougher and tougher as the series goes along?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a different game for sure. But I mean, it's not going to be too different. I think we played Syracuse 12 times this year, so seeing them a couple more times isn't going to be too out of the ordinary. Just again, going back, just making sure that they're also keeping a level head. When you're younger, you can let emotions get to you pretty pretty easily. I know myself from personal experiences, and again, just relying on the older guys to keep it calm. And I mean, they played 72 games in the regular season, and they've seen what the AHL can do. It's going to rev up for sure, but I don't think it's anything that they can't handle. They're unbelievably skilled players, all of them, and I think we're in a good spot.
Your coach was talking about how you guys were feeling that you went on this point streak late, and you guys could kind of feel that it was building towards that. What do you think kind of made it switch to the results finally showing, and then how kind of fulfilling was it to see that the work was paying off and you guys were finally getting rewarded for what you guys were doing?
Honestly, I don't know if there's one thing that you can really point out that or credit to us just starting to have success. I think it was slowly building and building throughout the entire regular season. We didn't necessarily change anything about our game drastically to start seeing that success. I think maybe it was just later in the season, and with playoffs kind of coming around within the next couple months, guys started to buy in and really wanted to win and start to see more success towards the end of the regular season and roll it into the playoffs. And that's kind of what we're doing, and hopefully it can continue. So
Playing Syracuse, you said 12 times. You've 6-6. 4 out of the last 5 have gone to overtime. I mean, just what is going to be the difference maker, in your opinion, in what it seems like a so closely even matchup?
I think it's just going to come down to the person or to the team that's willing to buy into their way of playing, their game plan, who can withstand, that going back to that roller coaster, who can go through it and come out on the other side with a calm head and continue to execute their game plan and not worry about the other team. I think that's probably the biggest thing that we have to focus on. So, yeah.